Hello friends, this is Webster from my Therapy Garden YouTube channel. We're playing the dirt, help to take away the hurt. Today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, and I hope you have a great day today. This year has been up and down in spring. Normally we'll have lots of roses to show you for Mother's Day, but this spring was hot and cold, so the roses would bud up and then the freeze would burn those off and then they'll bud up again. But thank God, they said tough time doesn't last, but tough people do. Well, tough roses last too. So these are some of the tough roses that we have. So in the front of the garden here, we have an iceberg. Burgundy iceberg. The same one behind it. Not too many flowers on this David Austin rose, Munstead wood, but we have lots of buds coming back. And as we walk down the rose garden, we see the new entrance of the garden. The gate is open for us, so we are welcome to go inside. Right behind this beautiful Japanese maple is this carpet rose. And its flower right over here by the gas meter. Have a JFK. Some dianthus giving us a splash of color. Our peonies, this one finished blooming. That was a sorbet peonies. But our newest rose in the hybrid tea garden is this Pope John Paul II, which I just planted yesterday. Beautiful white rose. It will be even more beautiful once it's in full bloom and the petals are open. Behind it we have this Arizona, and the beautiful flowers is hiding right here in the back. That soft white and pink flower, beautiful like the sunset in Arizona. Here is another JFK, and I learned something interesting about the JFK. This is a white rose which has a splash of red, and that splash of red signifies the blood when JFK was shot. One open right here, see the white rose with a little spot of red there, tinge of red. That's the blood when he was shot. Interesting side note right there. And the American goldfinch baptisa or false indigo is in full bloom. This brilliant yellow. Let's flank this side of the rose garden on the David Austin side. This Japanese maple, Kotonoito, more yellow to bounce off that false indigo. This is a rue, and rue is a herb. But I allow it to flower in the springtime, and after the flower I'll cut it way back. But it's beautiful. Provide early nectar for the bees and butterflies that come through. But one of the roses that never disappoint me is Mr. Lincoln. Of course, Mr. Lincoln is very fragrant, but that dark red, velvety look of the rose is always just magical, and it have that spicy fragrance to go with it. So here we have Mr. Lincoln. So we can put that in the tough rose category, because Mr. Lincoln came back like a champion. Here's the second Mr. Lincoln. And I'm so glad one of my subscribers says the peonies won't flower until about year 3. And now we have beautiful flowers from the peonies. Beautiful red color of the sorbet peonies. The roses on the trellis hasn't started blossoming, but the clematis is. Clematis climbing all the way up. Beautiful blue color of the clematis. Right beside it, the foxglove. The Olympiad rose is coming. I think it have another bloom that's hiding here in the back. So let's get to it. A little bit ragged, but it's a rose, so it's still beautiful. More of the foxglove. Again, the yellow we have here is the yellow from the rue. Sunshine ligustrum right here. I had it in a pot. Both of them in the pot by Athena's feet. The pot break, so I put them in the ground and have them flanking the path right here as we go through the rose garden. The Chicago peas hasn't started. It's just have a little bud right there. I think this might be the Chrysler Imperial back here. The Verna Jean, Japanese maple. And to the back here, we have another rose. Olympiad. Or spiral topiary. And then the next addition, which we planted both of them yesterday, is honey perfume. I've been wanting this rose for so long. So glad I finally found it. And I buy it as a bare root rose, but it was still too cold to put in the ground. So I put it in a pot, and in the pot start growing, thriving, and flowering. So I put it in the ground yesterday, it was already flowering. beautiful. Honey perfume. And just around it here, we have some variegated leaf lavender with a train in the background. Now, I don't know what type of flower this is. It's just a seed that I threw in the ground, and it's doing well. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful. We won't go in the pollinator's garden today, but we can see that the yarrow is doing pretty good. And around Athena, we made an addition. We'll talk about that at a later time. On the David Austin side, taking a while to warm up. This is the Charles Darwin, which is the yellow rose. This beautiful cascading tree is a redbud, Ruby Falls. This David Austin Rose Golden Celebration. It's just coming up a bit, and then when the rain fall, the blooms didn't quite open. They just kind of stuck together. So not the most attractive rose right now, but we're still early in the season. Japanese maple, and that's a red dragon. The Poet's Wife, another David Austin, budding up. And this would be a nice soft pink rose. This one is not a David Austin, and this is Moonlight in Paris. And the second one, we took that one out to put other David Austin rose to make this garden true David Austin rose garden. So we have a lady, Emma Hamilton, in the back here. We got that as a bare root rose, so it hasn't started coming up yet. And the second one, Princess Alexander of Kent. So these are two new David Austin rose for the David Austin Rose Garden. Bare root rose, which later on we'll see what those look like. Going up to the north side, we have Abraham Darby. The Abraham Darby. The Thomas A. Becket hasn't started flowering yet. Well, it had one little one, but it fell off. Beautiful clematis climbing up this trellis right here. And this echinacea, and this is a double cone flower, pink double delight, pink double delight. Next David Austin would be a Jubilee celebration. Hasn't started flowering. This is the Intrigue Rose. But since we don't have a whole lot of rose to show you, I think the Baptisia make up for that. Beautiful yellow of the Baptisia. is Susan Williams Ellis. Just coming. It's budding up nicely. And we know that's a white rose. The salvia. Jude the obscure. And the Japanese maple that did not make it, the waterfall that we had in the front here, we had it removed. And the rose that we put here is another tough rose. This is a Gertrude Jekyll. Gertrude Jekyll. And we got it as a bare root rose also. And you can see that she's leafing out and will have lots of flower pretty soon. So it's a quick garden tour for all the mothers and grandmothers and surrogate mothers out there. Just want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. I wish I had more roses to show you, but well, I wish I could just make this whole garden into a bouquet and send it to each and every one of you. But for now, we'll just enjoy the roses, enjoy the flower on your special day. From my therapy garden to yours, this is Webster. We're playing the dirt. Help me to take away the hurt. And we just had a Mother's Day tour of the rose garden. Have a great day, guys. God bless you. Happy Mother's Day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.